for others. But in Islam, no. Save yourself. Save yourself and the others. It's like inside the plane when the steward and stewardess give you an instruction. If the oxygen is not enough, something will come down from the top of your compartment. He said the instruction is wear it on yourself first before giving to others. Before your children, before your wife, wear it for your first. Because you have to save yourself before saving others. That is actually really important for us to remember. Because sometimes like inside the Quran, Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah, the people of the book in Medina, they are the Jews. They actually, when they mention about the Prophet ﷺ, they mention in front of them, they will say, follow this guy, he's true. But they don't follow. Because Allah Ta'ala said, أَتَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبِرِّ وَتَنْسَوْنَ أَنفُسَكُمْ. Are you telling people to do good, but you forgot about your own self? This is for you for the practice, not for like I said, for the Ustaz also, it is actually a reminder. Okay, Dale Carnegie. He said, Dale Carnegie related a story of a man who had an ulcer that became aggravated to a dangerous level. Doctors informed him that he had a very little time left to live. No, it is normal like that. Whenever you have a terminal sickness, then doctor said 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. So this guy, they can just said, got a bad news from the doctor. They insinuated that it would be wise for him to make funeral arrangement. He said, make a funeral arrangement. Suddenly, Hani, the patient, made a spontaneous decision. He thought to himself that if he had such little time left to live, why not enjoy the utmost? To the utmost. Why shouldn't you enjoy? Make the most of your life. That is still there. Why should you be, doing things that actually making you more sad? Why don't you live your life? So he said, enjoy utmost. He thought, how often have I wished to travel around the world before I die? This is certainly the chance to realize my dream. He bought his ticket, and when the doctor became aware of his plan, they were shocked. They said to him, we most strongly demonstrate with you and warn you, if you go forward on this journey, you will be buried at the bottom of the ocean. You go, maybe at that time, in the story, because people actually sailing by ship. This is story when you heard about, listen to the story of our ancestors when they go to Hajj by sea, not by air. By air, few hours, 13 hours, 11 hours. But by sea, it will be months. Going to Hajj, they will stop at few places in India and few places. They will go to Aden until they come to Jeddah. Some of them will port at Aden and riding camel after that until they arrive at Makkah. The journey to go 3 months. Coming back 3 months. During the Hajj, maybe they will stay 2 months at least. So they will be on that journey for at least 3 months. So when the doctor said, if you go on with this, you will be buried into the ocean, because at that time, they will not bring the dead body with them to the port. Whenever somebody died, they will tie something heavy and they throw it into the ocean. That is the common practice at that time. These days, we do try to get the body to come to their family and relative, save them as we can. But and during that time, they know that the dead body will attract some disease, because we know that the Black Plague when happened in Europe, it's actually especially after war, when the dead body is not being buried correctly, being left out just like that, then the plague will start to attack the human, the living. So they throw the body from the sea, from the ship until into the sea, into the ocean. The argument were in vain, and he only answered, "No, nothing of the sort will happen. I have promised my relatives that I will come back to be buried in the family plot. I will come back." But normally at that time, even in Egypt, they have the same practice. You will only be buried in your family plot. But they are not buried on the ground. They have a sepulchre. They have a big room under the ground, and they will put the body inside that place. I remember in Egypt, they practice that. In Yemen, no. In Saudi, no. They don't use that. In Egypt, yes. They will still having the family plot, but they will be going under the ground, and they will put it inside. They call it sepulchre. If you read the story of Jesus, peace be upon him, the story about when the Jew put him inside the ground is like that. Because of that, I remember Sheikh Ahmad Didat, rahimahullah, he actually wrote a book, Who Moved the Stone? Because the stone that blocked the hole that Jesus was being put inside the room inside there was moved when when Mary Magdalene came to the place in Sunday morning, the stone was moved. So the question is, who moved the stone? Because Sheikh Ahmad Didat want to say that the possibility that Jesus didn't die, because 3 days and 3 nights doesn't happen, because he was put inside the hole at the Saturday night, because he was being hanged on the cross on Friday. That's why they are calling the Good Friday. Why the Friday is good? Because Jesus died on the cross for our sin. So, but the Jew have to put the body before the sun set, because on Sabbath or Sabtu or Saturday, no body should be hanged on that place, on the land. If somebody is hanged, then the land will be cursed. So they quickly put the body inside the room, sepulchre, they said. So Sheikh Ahmad said, you can say that Saturday night he may be inside the place. Saturday night, Saturday morning, maybe. Sunday night, maybe. But Sunday morning, actually the body is not there anymore. So that's why when Sheikh Ahmad said 3 days and 3 nights, so where's your calculation? He said 3 days and doesn't happen. So that practice is no more in our place. Not really. In the Europe countries, some they are still using that. So the family plot today will be buried in the ground. You buy a plot, you'll be there. Your father, your mother, your grandfather, everybody will be there. In Islam, the practice not like that. We have a person can be buried in his own land, or he can be buried in the general or public cemetery. That is for everybody. Everybody, like Baqi'. There, the place where the Sahaba and who actually died after that will be buried there. But they are actually moving the body if the body is not there anymore, being eaten, to left until the bone. They remove the bone to other places to make room for new that will occur by years. Because until today, the graveyard is still being used. The Baqi', You can see the whole ground is like that. So anyway, he said, I promise my relative I will come back to be buried in the family plot. He thus began his trip of mirth and joy. You know, the trip was a thing that actually he wanted to do it. Even though the doctor said the time is so short, you cannot live long. So you actually should not be traveling. But he said, I want to live out my life. Okay. He wrote to his wife saying, I eat the most delectable of dishes on the cruise ship. I read poetry and I eat tasty fatty food. You know, some people that doesn't want to eat fatty food. Food fat, they said, will block your arteries. Even though the joy and the joy and the taste will be there. Like we mentioned before in Surah Al-An'am, verse number 146. If you remember, that during the time of the Prophet, during the time of the Jew, they were forbidden from eating fat. The fat is forbidden from them as a punishment from Allah. Not because goodness, because punishment. Because they go against the saying of Allah. So Allah Ta'ala punish them by not giving them permission to eat fat until today. So fat, they cannot eat fat. So they only can eat the fat that is inside the meat or on the back of the animal or inside the bone. That is mentioned in Surah Al-An'am 146. If you look into that ayah, particularly, you can see that the fat is forbidden upon them as a punishment. As a punishment. Today, some people is not punished with that, they cannot eat. You know, oh, so fatty, oh, so oily. So you don't feel the taste. So this guy, you know, if he's not being said that he will die, he will not eat. He will carefully, oh, I don't want to eat, I want to live long. But now, doctor said, you will die. In certain period, in short period, you will die. So he eat. He said, why should I be afraid? Because anyway, I'm dying. So he ate delicate fatty food that I have heteroto refrain from them. He refrained himself so much from eating that type of food because oily or salty. You can see that. Some people actually they said that like the hospital food. Anybody like the hospital food? Raise up his hand. No, nobody like. He said it's not tasty, no salt, no oil. One of my relative, or on the side of my wife, actually whenever she cook, I will say, oh, this is too healthy, because everybody tasting the food, that the taste is not there. It's something like this guy, he's eating everything because he said that his life is short. Why should he stop from eating? He said, I have enjoyed life during this period more than I have in my entire previous life. Then Carnegie claimed that the man become cured of his sickness and that the energized path he took is one that successfully defeating the disease and pain. Actually, I remember listening to the same story in our time today. People that actually having terminal illness, cancer, they change their way of life. Not about eating. Not about the eating. Because you already been given the cancer. So you try to stop it now will not help you much. But she changed the way of life. You know, go and help people. Do works. Charity works. Not sitting, you know, just inside the house, gloomy, in sadness. No. Go out and do things. Actually, after 3 months to 6 months, the cancer actually being defeated. without any medicine. It's like when you're happy, you remember when the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ala inna fil jasadi mudghatan." Know that inside the body, that is a lump of flesh. Is your heart. Iza saluhat, when it is good, saluhal jasadu kulluhu, all the body, a part of body will be good. Wa idza fasadat, when it is corrupted, all the part of the body will be corrupted. Ala wahal qalbu, know that it is the heart. If you read it from the side of spiritual, you can see that a person that have a good heart, his mouth will say the good things, his eyes will seeing the good things. He will avoid badness in his action because his heart is good. That is spiritual part. If the heart is corrupted, then the saying, the action will be against goodness. That is spiritual. But from the part of the other part, physical, it's actually a true thing that a person who is sad, the body also will get affected by the heart. Actually, you are not happy, then your body will be sick. You will have sickness if you don't feel happy. Sometimes when you go to the study of stress management, everybody have stress in their life. But stress management, when you cannot manage your stress, sometimes the stress will make you have physical sickness. One of my lecturer that I learned from him, from UUM, if I'm not mistaken, he said about the cases that some of the CEOs of the big company become crippled. Because of the starting from sleep disc. Some people you can listen to these days, people having sleep disc, while they actually not lifting up big things. If you are lifting big things, heavy things with your body, then your disc becomes sleep. It's understandable. But the person who managing company, having back pain, having difficulties in their diet, cholesterol, heart rate, blood pressure, diabetic and everything, it's because they actually being burdened with things that they are not happy to manage. They're managing the company, but they are not happy in their heart. So it affected their health. Because of that, you can see that some of the person that actually I cannot say his name, but known to become CEOs of big company, big. Even in the government, he be given big position. When he was actually not yet 50 in his age, he was being being operated for his heart 3 times. 3 times. A bypass 3 times. When you ask the person, he's not eating like we are eating. Means he's not eating like common people eating. Always taking care. Not more than this much of rice. Not more than 1 slice of watermelon. When you listen to the doctors, when they count every calorie and also every sugar that you are eating, you said, what happened to me? You can eat sometimes half watermelon for your own self. But this guy said, just 1 slice, no more. A small slice. Rice, half cup, not a cup, half cup, a quarter of the cup. We listen to that, you are not happy. But that person, taking care of his food, but suddenly you go to the hospital, he went to the hospital, being operated on his heart for 3 times. And he is not yet 50, but holding big position in companies in Malaysia. But you ask about him, 3 times bypass, not yet 50. So when we listen to that, when the study said, because the burden of thinking about how to manage people, how to fire people, appoint people, they say their task. Say that close a branch, opening a new branch. That type of stress making them not happy. And when they're not happy in their heart, their body will be like that. The same when you are actually happy. Your body is actually will be good. Not only spiritually, also physically. It's related actually. Related between your heart and your body. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said, because we know that the Prophet ﷺ, he's saying is general. When he says it's general, you accept the word as general. He doesn't say good in spiritual. No, he said when the heart is good, then the body will be good. And the heart is corrupted, spoiled, then the body will be corrupted and spoiled. So it's related for both sides, inshallah. So take care, they take really care. Because what being said by the energy about this guy actually happened. I listened to 2 or 3 stories. People that actually recovering from cancer, not because of the medicine. It's because they are changing their life from, mandem and sorrow. Then normally people actually will have this type of situation after retirement. Doesn't know what to do. You here, alhamdulillah, coming to the class. So you have a timetable, where to go, what to do. But after you come to the position or situation when you are not needed anymore. When you hold the position in a company, in government, people always call you. Sir, what to do? We want to do this. We want to invite you. People actually honoring you. So you have the spirit to live on. And you actually have the spirit to move on. But when, after retirement, you feel that your life is empty. What to do? Just wake up, eating, and then sleep and eating. That is so not actually not a way of life that is good for your body. Because you have to do things. Charity, help others, then Allah will help you. Even sometimes we here open for you. If you feel that you have more times, then come on Saturday and Sunday to guide, to give some guidance to many of our new reverts. They don't know, they don't understand Islam. You come to classes, then come, help them. That is the way you actually share your knowledge, and Allah will make it more profitable for you, beneficial for you from the reward, and beneficial for you from the understanding. Because when you want to give understanding to others, then Allah will open up for your understanding. If you want to just for yourself, then it will not be spread around. There's no new things you will learn. When you want to make other people understand, that is the way. Because knowledge will be growth. The growth of knowledge is by giving, not by sealing. You seal it, then it is there, not beneficial for others. You can get the reward of ilmun yantafa'u bih, the knowledge that people get the benefit from it. After you die, the person actually practicing whatever you taught and teaching it to others, you will get the reward. So think about that. Try to fill up your life with the relationship with other human. Don't just stay by yourself, not meeting people. That is not healthy. Your health will be deterioration will come. Okay. The moral, happiness, cheerfulness, and calmness are often more efficient than doctor's pill. That is more efficient, really, actually. But it is upon everybody, their capability, what you can do. If you cannot come and carry burden, a heavy burden, then you guide people. That is the best way. Because we know that our deeds in Islam, some of it from your heart. Through your heart, you're doing deeds. The Allah Ta'ala will count it as goodness and giving reward. Some of it from your speech, and some of it from your action, your movement. So you have to choose whatever is suitable for you. Okay. As long as you live, as long as you have basic necessity As long as you have life's basic necessity, don't be sad. Okay. Means that if you have enough, sometimes people is thinking about what he don't have. What you are having right now is actually enough, then you should not be sad. Normally people will be sad, like you said, some of it because of they are looking to others. This guy getting this girl getting that. So they don't get it, they start to feel sad. But you really look into yourself. Like we mentioned before, one of the things that being mentioned by one of the tabi'in, one of the student of the Sahaba, when somebody came and actually complained to him about life. He want money but doesn't have money. So this guy said to him, this tabi'in said, do you really, if somebody give you 1,000 dinars, 1,000 dinars is actually around 4 kilo, 250 gram, 4.25, 4 kilo, 250 gram of gold. If somebody give you that, but in return, take away your eyesight. Do you agree for that? Say no. And the person start to count everything that this person who complained about life, what he have. Count one after another. After counting, he said, on your body, yourself, you have more than sufficient to live. And more valuable than the 1,000 dinars that you want. More than 1,000 dinars. Sometimes we actually don't look at the necessity. What is enough for you, that is enough. You don't have to, you can try to get more. But if you don't get it, it's okay. Because life goes on and you don't have to be sad. Because that is not yours from the start. He said here, and it is in the Quran, in Surah 34, verse number 37. 34 is actually a surah. Okay, Surah Al-Saba. Surah Saba. Verse number 37. Verse number 37. Allah said, وَمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَلَا أَوْلَادُكُمْ بِالَّتِي تُقَرِّبُكُمْ عِنْدَنَا زُلْفَى. He said, it is not your wealth, nor your children that bringing you nearer to us. When what making you come near to Allah is not your wealth, is not your children. Originally. Because some people have the understanding that if Allah give them many things in this world, that is the sign of love of Allah. Allah Ta'ala give you money, Allah love you. Give you children, Allah love you. They have that type of understanding. But it is wrong for you to understand like that. You can use your wealth to help you gain position in the sight of Allah by giving it away or using it in whatever is halal. And you can your children can be things that making you go into the highest point of paradise. Because like in the hadith that we shared many times about a person in Musnad Ahmad, a person, he died, entered the paradise. The Prophet told the story. The person entered the paradise and he found the paradise that he got is more than his deeds. We know that our deeds, what we did, how many prayers, how many Quran we recite. We can estimate our position. Some of our friend, they have the estimation is so low. They said, Ustaz, what are you saying? Are you, inshallah, we go to paradise, I will go to hell first. They have that type of negativity, inferiority complex. Not thinking that they can manage to go to paradise because of the deeds that they are doing. Some people actually being sincere thinking like that. But this person, when he entered the paradise, he saw what he got more than his deeds. So he said, Ya Rab, anna li hada. From where did I get this? From where? I don't think my prayer is enough to, for me to gain this position, this thing inside the paradise. No, my fasting. I don't really fast much. No recitation of the Quran. He understand. So he said, Ya Rab, anna li hada. From where did I get this? Then the Prophet said, Allah Ta'ala answered, Bistighfari waladika laka. Because of the forgiveness that your child asks for you. When your child asks forgiveness for you, your rank, your sin can be cleansed, your rank can be lifted. Just asking for forgiveness. That is enough. You then don't have to buy some plot, some land and do the waqaf on your name. They don't have to do that. If you look into the hadith, it's so simple. Means that you tell your son, remember, don't forget to do dua for me. Because that is the thing that will lifting you up. You don't have to, go do the ceremonial things that the people of Malaysia and South Asia is doing. Especially immediately after that, after the death of the deceased or the guy, they will do the 7 day, 3 days, 7 day, 40 days, 100 days per year, yearly. They thought that is something that will help their relative who already died. They thought like that. But from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, you know that you don't have to do that. Because originally you yourself are the seed that belong to your parent, your father and your mother. If a person plant a tree, the tree grows. The tree grows. And giving all sort of benefit. Like the fruits being eaten by human, animal, some birds make a nest there. Some people shading under the sun, under the tree. The worm that eating the worm or anything, bug that eating the leaf, everything will be reward for the guy. Then how can't your children be like that? But the only thing that they must do, never to forget to pray for you. Because like the Prophet said, awwadin salihin yad'ulah, or a good child that praying or supplicating for him. That's the 3 things that after you die will continuously giving you new reward. The third one is awwadin salihin yad'ulah. Idza mata al-insan, when a human being died, in qata amaluhu, all his deed will be cut off. No new deeds will come to him. Illa min ihda thalas, except from 3 ways. This is the first ways that I mentioned just now about the knowledge. Or the second one is about the sadaqatin jariyah. Anything that you give, then being used continuously, even after you die, you will get the reward. And the last one always being wrongly understood. They thought that if the children doing any deeds, they must, give it to the parent. They don't have. Because of that, the Prophet said, yad'ulah. Because the child that praying, they are supplicating for their parent, they are the new way for the parent to get new reward. Because of that, the rank of that person, even though he died, he know that he died on this level. This is my deeds. My recitation of the Quran, my prayer. Sometimes I pray the voluntary prayer. Most of it just the obligatory one. No voluntary fasting. Seldomly recite Quran. We can know our rank. But this guy entered the paradise, got the best for him, and he actually startled. How can I get this? From where did I get this? Then Allah answered, Bistighfari waladika laka. Because your child asked forgiveness for you. Because of that. So in that ayah, particular ayah, when he said, "Wama amwalukum wala auladukum billati tuqarribukum ilayna zulfa," it is not, and is not your wealth, nor your children that will bring you nearer to us. Just to have money, just to have children, that is not the rank. That is not something that making you near to Allah. The thing that I mentioned just now, you give it away because of Allah, then you can get it back. Your children, you taught them well, then He will be giving you back. That is the thing. Because it is not just having the children making you have rank in the sight of Allah. Not just having. It's about, usage. Allah Ta'ala give you, for what did you use that? Okay. He said here, Illa man amana wa amila saliha, except, but only He will please us who believe in Islamic monotheism, means that in Tawheed, wa amilu salihat, and also does the righteous deeds. So if you do the righteous deeds and you actually believe in Allah, then only your children, your wealth will be something that making you nearer to Allah. You have that, then inshallah. Just having the children, not yet. To guide them to goodness, then you get the reward. Okay? فَأُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ جَزَاءُ الضِّعْفِ بِمَا عَمِلُوا. Then he said there will be twofold reward for what they did. Allah Ta'ala will make it fold. Not just 1 plus 1, no. 1, no. 1 and we multiplied by Allah. And we know that anything that we use for us, for our spending in halal, will be times 10. Anything that we use for the sake of Allah will be times 700, until 700. The multifold is different, but you still get the reward. You don't. It's not something that actually, like we always mention. You use your money for the sake of your children, for their life, for their education. Allah will reward you. Don't think that it's a waste, and don't think that you want to gain something here. Gain from Allah. That is the best. Anything you use. So these days, with the financial burden and everything, to understand this will be really helping you, actually. I remember, if you remember the story of the Chinese brother that I rode his Grab car to Rawang. Did I mention this story? No. Actually, it's a little funny, but anyway, we are inside the car. From here, I went to Rawang because I changed the tire of my car. So going there, we talk about many things. Then he actually complaining, these days, because I mentioned to him, I can see that the Chinese, especially the non-Muslim Chinese, they are not marrying to each other. Most of them are single. I asked this one, 40, 45, not married yet. This one. So I said, what happened? So this guy actually told me the whole story. He shared with me, he said the burden of school fees, the burden of hospital bills, the burden of everything. Afraid. He have a daughter. During PKP, during MCO, the daughter was born during that time. So he actually says little like that. So I shared with him. I said, we in Islam, we are thinking about whatever we spend for our family, is we're getting reward from Allah. You are not actually wasting your money just like that. Even if your child sick, you send to the hospital, all the bills that you pay, Allah will reward you. Everything. The gas that you feel inside your car, everything Allah is actually giving you 1 plus 1 times 10. Every good deed times 10. We actually in Islam thinking like that. And secondly, when he said about children, I said in Islam also, we actually understand from Prophet ﷺ, everybody have their own provision. I have my provision, you, my wife, everybody have their own provision. Normally I said, if your provision is like this, he was driving and started to look at because I sitting at the back. When this is your provision, your wife have her own. When she was under the care of her father, then she will get from there. But when she married you, then her provision will come through you. So Allah will open up a little. Will expand because you will be taking care of yourself and your wife. So it will expand. When you have children, the children also will have their own provision. So it will expand more. I mentioned to him, my siblings, 14. I have 14 siblings. My father and my mother have 14 children. I'm number 13. Number 13 of 14. But now we actually reduced after the death of our sisters and brothers. Now we left to 8. Still many. 8 is still many. Okay. So I said to him about my family. He said, then your father is so rich. I said, no. My father is not rich. But his children get all the things that provision Allah Ta'ala has sent. He's not rich. I said, my father just bought a second-hand car when I was 10 years old. 10 years old. Before that, he just using motorcycle, Vespa. So he cannot manage to buy a car because of that. Because, the children is so many. So he actually, but after retirement and all his children already, have their own life. Alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala give him and he got to change his car to a van and everything. So I said, it's open. You have to understand that. When I said to him this guy actually, he startled. He said, brother, actually what you said, I think is true. Because he said when my daughter born, actually during 2021 actually, during MCO. So he said at that time in January and in February they have the Chinese New Year. I am so stressed. In our culture we have to give some ang pao to the parent. I don't have money at that time. I said if only I have 5,000 is enough. He said something like that. But I want to tell a story here. He said, I know from the side of Islam, what happened to me is not right. Because gambling is haram. He said gambling is haram. So I bought a ticket, 4D, 4 digit. I bought, but through my friend. My friend bought it for me using my car, the number of his car. So he said at that time he was so stressed. What to do? Newborn, no money. And at that time, who are actually moving around using Grab? People are actually stay at home. So how can he get? He said, I don't know what to do. Actually, actually after I bought the ticket on Saturday, he said on Sunday, 2 Bangladeshi guy, especially normally Muslim, normally they are Muslim. Bangladeshi guy, take my service to go somewhere, and they look at my car plate number. They said, brother, did you bought any number? Because your plate is so nice. The number is so nice. The Muslim telling the non-Muslim, did you bought any numbers? Anyway, he said he didn't remember about the ticket that his friend bought for him. So on the evening, after Maghrib, like that, he said on 7 o'clock, his friend called him. He said, the ticket you bought, if you get price, you have to treat me for food. He said, okay, it's okay. He actually at that time thinking that he may get constellation price, like 1 times 100. If you pay 1, the 110 is just like that. Suddenly he got the first prize, 32,000. Seriously. So he actually looked at the thing that I said, your provision is open. Because your child have his own provision. You have your own provision. Your wife. So it will expand. He was so thankful at that time. He said, now I'm feeling so pleased. I don't think that my child is a burden, my life is a burden. Thank God I wrote, you are with me today in this car. I don't know what happened to him, but at that time, he actually so cheerful. His face changed. From complaining in sadness, suddenly he said, now I understand. Because he sometimes we don't realize that this about the provision. You have your provision, your child have your provision. The way Allah Ta'ala will give you, that is another thing. Because at that time you actually not a Muslim. So Allah Ta'ala give you 30,000 through that 4 digit lottery gambling numbers. But he actually feel pleased. Because like I said, if you really know these things, then you should not be sad. Spending on your family is not something that is actually making you loss. You gain. Whatever you pay, you gain. You left that thing in the sight of Allah. When you die, you will meet it again. This is the hospital bill. This is the education. This is the food that you give to your wife. Everything will be paid by Allah. Allah Ta'ala said, وَمَا أَنْفَقْتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ فَهُوَ يُخْلِفُهُ. Whatever you spend from anything, He will replace it for you. The best replacement is the last day. Here, if you get, it will, quickly deplete. Using it these days, but not like going to Mecca. Mecca, actually, when you go there for Umrah, your money is flowing like water pipe. 100, 200, just a day is just like that. So this is one thing. Because if you know the reality of life, it can help you to be happy. You can be happy, inshallah. Okay? So he said here, whatever you spend, Allah Ta'ala will give you twofold reward for what they did. And they will reside in the highest dwelling, in paradise. Allah Ta'ala said, wahum fil ghurafati aminun. And they will be inside the paradise, in rooms in the paradise, in peace and security. So that is actually what Allah Ta'ala promised us. You can gain from whatever Allah Ta'ala gave you to be better in the last day, if you use it carefully, in benefit. Okay. Again, Dale Carnegie said, I said to you, his name, especially the second part of this book, many of this saying being said. Because this book actually, if not mistaken, the non-Muslim also get the benefit of reading it. Because sometimes if you put just the saying of the Prophet Sallam and the Quran, even though that is supposed to happen, that is what is supposed. Because the saying of Allah, there's nothing is more true than the saying of Allah. وَمَنْ أَصْدَقُ مِنَ اللَّهِ قِيلًا. And who is actually more true in his saying than Allah. And there's no guidance better than the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sometimes this happen because the way to understand it, that the book title "Don't Be Sad," he want to compile every understanding about "Don't Be Sad," even from the non-Muslim tradition. Okay, he said here, statistics have proven that stress and anxiety are the number one killer in America. There's statistic there. But we're still talking about food. Oh, eating. You eat something fatty, you eat something salty, then you have the disease. But actually, no. The first one is actually being proven that stress and anxiety is the number one killer in America. As a result of the last World War, 1/3 of a million our soldier in the US were killed. 1/3 of a million. From 1,300,000 died. The same happened actually for the America when they went to Vietnam. but not really to that extent, not the World War. Because this one actually they came to Vietnam and tried to take over, but sadly 500,000 actually from the soldier MIA, missing in action. Don't know what happened. Maybe running away to the borders, but they are not there anymore. 500,000, not 500,000 means 500,000, not 1,000, 2,000, but 500,000. This thing will be stressful not only for them, but only for the family also. The family will feel like that. Even if I'm not mistaken, the Ouija board, the board that you ask spirit, who are you? That is being created after the World War, because everybody want to talk to their relative who died during the war, but they don't have the way. So somebody made the board and start to sell. Seriously, if you look into the history of Ouija board, that is the beginning. After World War, they are so stressed. They don't know whether the father is still alive. And sometimes they read it there. The person said, I already died and everything. Suddenly the person came back alive. That is happened many times. But some people is actually using the sorrow, the calamity that befell upon people to gain money. The person who created the Ouija board, he become rich. Serious. Because of that, because the stress of death on the society, actually the toll is actually so great. It's not about the died person, it's about the living person. The living person also will have the problem. Okay. In the same period, heart disease was the cause of 2 million deaths. The same period. 2 million deaths because of heart disease. Like we mentioned just now, not because of eating. It's because of stress and anxiety. The sorrow that they have because of they're missing their family members, because they become like that. And from this later group, stress and anxiety and nervous tension were the source of sickness for 1 million person. 1% because of that. So you can imagine what happened to them. So because of that, during Vietnam War, the way that the US government uplift the spirit of their people after their loss in Vietnam is by moon landing. It's actually the period is so close. After they lost Vietnam War, suddenly they have the moon landing. It's actually the original purpose to uplift the spirit of the people. The sorrow that they have, because at that time you can imagine people actually protesting the war. John Lennon and everybody is there. The hippies at that time. So they want to divert what happened to their soldiers there, 500,000. So the moon landing happened, becoming one of the best thing to happen to them. So people start to look at the moon landing, not thinking about the loss of their soldiers. This is the thing that actually, when you look carefully, you sway the heart. Don't let them think about the loss. That is the way, because they know about from the studies what happened in the First World War. What happened? So the second time happened, they will change it, make something. The same actually being done in the Egypt government during their loss. They lost the war by taking Kulthum, a singer, to sing around all the cities of Egypt. Divert people to with entertainment. Sometimes sports are being used for that. The stress about living. The sports actually and entertainment is actually the two ways to make people to forget whatever they are having. That is the one of the thing. But in Islam, There's another way. It's another way. We don't go to that. You don't go to the, enjoy yourself until you forget your sorrow. We actually in Islam, we are taught to accept the reality of life. Allah will always test you. Like Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 155 and 56. Allah said, وَلَنَبَلُوَنَّكُمْ, we will surely test you بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ, with a little of fear and also hunger. وَنَقْسٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ, and lack of wealth. وَالْأَنفُسِ, and life, when people die. وَالثَّمَرَاتِ, and also from the harvest. Whatever you harvest become little. We will test you for that, with that. And Allah said, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. So, O Muhammad, give glad tidings to the people who have patience. Who are the people who have patience? الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ. Those who, when befell upon them any musibah, any disaster, any calamity, qalu, they said, inna lillah, we belong to Allah, wa inna ilaihi raji'un, and we to Allah we will return. He can do whatever He wants to us. Understand that, then move on. That is the way in Islam. You don't go into, intoxicated drinks or drugs to make you feel happy or to make you forget. Because the thing happened. People actually go into that type of entertainment. After the thing ended, they start to think it again. They can use the thing for temporary 1 hour, 2 hours. Then after that, they will think it again. The sorrow will come again. Then the usage will come again. The substance will be used again. The cycle will not stop. So in Islam, you don't go there. He said there, yes, heart disease is one of the main reason that prompt Dr. Alexis Carrel. Alexis Carrel is actually the one that wrote the book, Human the Unknown. If you can find the book, Alexis Carrel, he wrote a book entitled Human the Unknown. This book is actually, in this book, he tried to understand the human from the side of chemistry, from the side of biology, from the side of psychology, every part. And in the end, the answer is human the unknown. In the end, human, we don't know. Because if you look at substance, we are actually a combination of few substances. Hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, sulfur, magnesium, potassium, that is becoming us. That is our substance. You don't have aurum. Aurum, gold. You don't have aurum. No platinum, no aluminium. You don't have that. You have that element, around 11 elements combined together, becoming you. Carbon is there. Sulfur is there. I remember Dr. Yusuf Al-Qardawi, rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy upon him. He wrote a book entitled Al-Iman wal-Hayah, Belief and the Life. Life and the belief. In this book, he actually mentioned in the beginning the things that actually if you bought, you watch the few of the commentaries like The Cell, BBC, The Cell, 3 episodes, or The Human Body, 6 episodes. The Human Body, BBC. You can see that they are comparing to that. They took sulfur there, they took carbon. They said, we are the combination of these things. So the Social Qardawi said, the carbon that we have is enough to make three pencils. 3 pencils. Your carbon is enough for 3 pencils. Your sulfur is enough to clean bark from a dog. The bark inside that eating the dog, sucking the dog's blood. You can use the quantity of sulfur that you have can clean a dog. Combination of that. Water is hydrogen, oxygen. Okay? Everything is actually combination. But at the same time, we have soul. We have feeling. Sadness, anger is there with us. So that's why Alice Carroll, his book, you have to get it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, in PDF is there. Human the Unknown. Try to find it. Alice Carroll. The book is so good because he tried to understand the human, but in the end, the answer is human the unknown. And because if you study a person, he is unique. He is not me. And I am not him. And he is not she. Everybody have different character. You cannot say that human is this. Just like that. That this way. This is Carol. Okay. He said to say, working people who do not know how to deal with stress die prematurely. This is true. Working people who doesn't know how to deal with stress die prematurely. Actually, I remember my wife said when she was working at Telecom Malaysia, on her department, there are many managers. They are young, early 30, but everybody have sickness. This one has gout, rheumatoid. This one has diabetic. This one have cholesterol. This one have everybody. Inside the department, they are young, early 30, but everybody is really having sickness. That is actually normally to happen after 50, after retirement. But they actually young and having that. It's something that actually proven to that extent. So stress, because you actually being given tasks, you cannot do it, and the stress come with your family and everything. You cannot manage it. You can die prematurely. Though the reasoning and logic that prompted Carrel to say this are sound. Whatever they said is sound. Actually, true. But we must still remember. The Allah said in the Quran in Surah Al-Imran, verse number 145. Wa ma kana nafsin an tamuta illa biiznillah kitaban muajjala. And none of the people will die except by the permission of Allah. It is written, written. But the cause, yes, because of that. Okay, we have the what being written for us, when to die, how to die, be written by the side of Allah. But you can remember the Prophet ﷺ when he entered war into the battlefield. He will be wearing the armor, wearing helmets. The Prophet ﷺ wearing steel helmet, iron helmet on his head, going into war wearing that. Means that what we have been written in the sight of Allah, we don't know. But for us in living, yes, taking precautions, not to do things that we endanger ourselves, it says something that we must take into consideration. Cannot just say that the takdir is there, I don't care. Why are you doing this? Oh, if it's not my time, I will not die. Why should I be afraid? A little problem there, because like I said, even though the Prophet is the one that teaching us about the qadar, but he entered the war wearing the armor, not because he want to run to run away from death. It's actually you doing the things that is actually considered right. Like when you are hungry, you eat. When you feel thirsty, you drink. You don't eat. You are thirsty, so you drink. Say, I'm so thirsty. Can you give me rice? People say, what are you talking about? I'm so thirsty. Give me the bun. I want to eat. You are hungry or thirsty. You have to do the right thing. So doing the right thing, like he said here, managing the stress and not to follow your heart too much. Because Allah said to the Prophet, La tahzan. The Prophet said to Abu Bakar, La tahzan, inna allaha ma'ana. Don't be sad, Allah is with us. Because the effect of the sadness is something that can be worsen your health. Okay, Black American and the Chinese rarely fall prey to disease of the heart. They are people who live life with tranquility and calmness. Now sometimes, like you say, accepting their position, what happened to them. That is one of the way. Because if you thinking about not having what you want, and you have that stress, it's not good. Whatever you have, you have. Because of that, if you look into the African people, in their place, in their country, the way they are living, they don't care. They don't want more. Whatever they have is enough. Only after that we open to them the way of life of the Western society, then only they start to think they don't have. If not, whatever in front of their eyes is enough. Our Malay people, once before, is like that. Some people say that the Malay is so lazy. It's because they want to eat the rice they plant. They want to eat fish, they just fish in front of their house. They don't have to run away. Everything is there inside around their houses. So they don't really think about more. Sometimes this type of living is actually calm and also serene. You don't, have to hustle other people of whatever they have. You don't feel jealousy in your heart because of whatever they have. That is the thing. Okay. On the other hand, you will find that numbers of doctors who die of heart attacks is 20 times more than the numbers of farmers who die of the same cause. The farmers, like I said, because the way of life, firstly, because they are moving around and they actually doing the physical things. Well, then and other than that, they actually doesn't worry themselves for what to come. Normally, whatever they have is enough. Sometimes we say that, is it enough for you? Because we know. I remember Dr. Bilal Phillips when he came to Malaysia. At one time, Yayasan Taklim made arrangement for him to give a speech. The purpose of life in Telekom Malaysia, in Jalan Bangsa. So, the non-Muslim also being invited. So when Dr. Bilal Phillips gave his talk, and some of the non-Muslim actually rose up and asked a question. He said, you're saying that everything predestined. Predestined means Allah Ta'ala already written the destiny for me, for everybody. But I think that I am the one that changing my destiny. I am the one that holding everything in my hand. So you cannot say that it's like that. So Dr. Bilal Philip gave him an understanding. He said, if you said that the most diligent, the most person working hard will be rich. Then he said, comparing between a farmer and a person who born as a wealthy family. Farmer and this guy, or farmer and the son of the king, the prince. If you said about working hard will give you all the things that you want in this world, then the person that should be really, really rich are the farmers. But if you look into the reality, are the farmers most rich person in the world? No. They went out from their house before Fajar, when they want to cut the rubber tree to get the milk, because they want to gather the milk of the rubber tree noon. So they have to wake up before Fajar and do their work. The paddy farmers also, plantation. Can you see that they are actually doing that? These days, Alhamdulillah, with the drone and everything, it's easier. Can you imagine what they did before? Going out, everything manually. But Allah Ta'ala didn't give them wealth. Like, some people playing stocks and everything, BSKL. So you actually understand that. He said to that guy, you should understand that the provision is being written by Allah. What is for you is for you. What is not for you and for others is for them. Not for you to be jealous about. Because Allah is the one that, giving away all the provision. Separating from you and others, that is the work of Allah. If you say that working hard will gain you more, then those person are the most working hard person in the world. The farmers or the builders, they are the most working hard. We are sitting here in air condition. They actually right now doing all the work, but their salary is not like us. But the other thing is, but their heart also fill up. The joy, the happiness that they have is not comparable to those who have wealth. Because of that, when he said here, the doctors, not the patient, the doctors who are actually treating the people's heart, they are dying more than the farmers. Not because of lack of food. The doctors know what to eat. The farmers actually normally they will eat everything. 3 plates of rice. 1, 2, 3. So you can compare their eating habit. You can say you'll die tomorrow. You'll die tomorrow. Eating for like a person who eating for 3 days. 3 days in one sitting. 3 days of food for one sitting. They can do that. Because the way of life, because they don't have the worry. They don't have the worry. Okay? You say here, doctors live a tough and stressful life. People always call them in the night, in the evening, everything. If the patient died, that is one of the thing that I remember. One of my student, he said that when one of her patient died, she cannot move on for a long time. That is stressful for her, because she actually want to save life. But it's stressful the burden is so much, for which they pay a heavy price, actually for their time and everything. So because of that, you have to actually, like let me say here, to be happy with the basic needs that you have. Whatever you have is enough for you. Don't you lingering more than that. You can hope and do some effort to get more. But you have to understand that the one that giving away the provision for you and for others is Allah, not anybody else. So you have to know that Allah Ta'ala making this world is not forever. It's not for everlasting. Even like you said just now, life is short. So live out your life. Don't be sad in your place, not mingling around with others. Because of that, Allah Ta'ala make our situation in this world, one part is your relationship with Allah, the other part is your relationship with human. Hablum minallah, hablum minnas. Even Allah Ta'ala give that understanding by saying about yuqimus salah wa yutuz zakah. They perform their prayer and they pay their zakah. But the scholar said, why Allah Ta'ala said about the prayer? Because it is actually becoming a symbol of your relationship with Allah. Because your prayer just for Allah. But when you say about paying zakah, giving charity, this is for your relationship with human. You have to have that both part, not only this part. Also having family, having neighbors, you have to have that things, because that is the thing that will balance you. Okay, any question? Okay, I will give a microphone to our sister, inshallah.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay. I have a problem with my maid. Okay. She wants to go back, but she borrowed money from me.
Okay.
So I have paid her salary in advance.
Okay.
After I paid her salary in advance, she started to buat perangai lah. Started to behave badly and things like that. So I got very upset with her.
Okay.
But I still gave her her money, and she plans to go back. Recently, she told me that I don't have any money to give my son food to eat. Okay, but because the money that I gave her actually went to pay hutang.
Okay.
All right. So she says my son does not have money to eat, so I need to have some salary. But when I calculate how much I have paid the agent and everything that I have extended to her, actually by right she owes me money.
Okay.
So and now I'm in a dilemma because I'm also thinking that kesian pula tak ada food for the son, but at the same time I'm so angry with her. So what is the right thing for me to do, Ustaz? Yeah.
Okay. In the Quran, I cannot answer it from my experience. In the Quran, when Allah Ta'ala mentioned about the topic of riba and before the topic of debt, 274 to 282 of Al-Baqarah. If you look into that ayah, the longest ayah in the Quran is the ayah of debt. Okay. 282. Okay. Okay, before the ayah, 281. 280. Okay. When Allah said about riba, if you open Surah Al-Baqarah, 280. Okay. 280. After Allah Ta'ala explain about the riba, and the riba are usually actually being done in the time before the Prophet Sallam, even the Jews are actually doing that because of that. When people taking that from you, and he delay in paying, you actually impose upon them that usually as a fine, because to make sure that he will be paying that debt. And then after Allah explain about that, all of that, Allah said in 280. I hope that this ayah will be something for you. Allah said, wa in kana dhu usratin fa naziratun ila maisarah. If the person who borrow from you actually someone has hardship, cannot pay, cannot have any money to pay to you his or her debt. Fa naziratun maisarah, then let there be postponed until the time of easy, means that until Allah Ta'ala give provision to her to get to pay to you, then you wait. You can wait. You wait. It's okay. And actually, this is the thing that when you look into Islam, the word qardun hasan. Qardun hasan means that a debt that you give, a loan that you give to others, but in your heart you said, if he can pay back, I will take it. He can pay back, then I will ask from Allah. That is the other way, because you have to understand that nobody can run away from any responsibility. You took money from others, from person, you have to pay it back. Allah Ta'ala will actually get it for you in last day. So it's like if you buy this pen, so expensive, but the company said to you, if the pen actually lost, they will give you a new one. Even that assured for you, you should be actually okay, because you don't give me, I will get it from Allah. And after that ayah, wa antasaddaqu khairul lakum, but if you give for your right, as a charity, then it is better for you. I know it's hard, money, yeah. But the problem is if you can, because the companion of Prophet ﷺ, if you read the hadith or the explanation of this ayah, you can see that one of the companion, actually somebody among them borrow money from him, but the person is running away, doesn't want to meet. This is one thing, that when you borrow money from somebody, you cannot pay, you will disappear. Okay. So when this guy actually asked, he get the opportunity to ask, where have you been? What happened to you? He doesn't have any intention to know asking for the money continuously. He just treat the person like always, but the person feels shy, ashamed to meet him, and running away. He cannot pay. So the person who give the debt cried. He cried.
Actually, Ustaz, it's not that I don't want to give her the
I
charity.
know. Yeah, wait for until I told the story, because the person who gave the debt, he cried and he said, "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me you don't have the money? You have to pay me back. If you tell me, then I will give it just like that." Because actually he know that the reward from Allah is multifold for you for that. So I said, like you said, you don't care about that, but shaitan will come, and poking around. Are you making a fool of yourself? The person is lying to you.
Actually, Ustaz, the issue I have with her is because she's rude to me.
Yeah, I know.
Lepas tu dia kata, I will only clean, but I don't want to cook. So she will watch me cook and she'll go into her room. So she doesn't help me. So Pak Yan tu I rasa macam dugaan dari Allah.
Nah, actually you can the other thing is actually communication. Sometimes when you want somebody to do something, if you have to say, you say. You don't wait for the person to understand. That is one of the problem. Because he said, doesn't he have any understanding? You don't say that. Maybe you hold her hand, talk to her softly, and say to her what you want. That is better actually. About that, whatever she doesn't get to pay, you just ask Allah, inshallah. Because the payment from Allah is better. Okay? Okay, here Saturday, June 1st. Starting June 1st, journaling throughout, don't be sad. Our book will be have a course of journaling that Sister Anis will be holding the course, inshallah. So whoever have the intention to learn more throughout the book that we learn, inshallah you can come there. Secondly, halaqah and journaling, understanding the recap what we learn. The journal throughout the topic that Sheikh Hussein has covered, and Sister Anis will guide the writing every 5 weeks once. Means every 5 weeks once, inshallah. This is the actually additional, that like a homework for you. You just learn, come. This is a homework, inshallah, for you to actually for you to share to others. When you write down, maybe you can send the text to your family, to understanding whatever you have learned from this book, inshallah. And other than that, inshallah, our new class, there is actually the reverse during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, will be, inshallah, on this Friday for the third session. We actually mentioned about the introduction the first week. Last week we took the story of Khadijah binti Khuwailid, alhamdulillah, and this week, inshallah, we continue. Brother Helmi said, don't mention the name. The name of the companion. So it's actually a secret until the day, inshallah. Every Jum'ah, except the last week of the last Jum'ah of the month. Because I have some arrangement. So the last week, inshallah, is not there. Except I'm not going out. Then we have every Friday, 9 to 10, inshallah. 9 to 10, but sometimes 10:30, sometimes 11. because I actually the setting I like somebody to say, you need to stop me from talking, but inshallah khair. So maybe you can share it around, inshallah. Wallahu a'lam. Stop here. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa sallam, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi